All right, so today's actually an interesting video that I'm going to shoot because today I have crossed 9 months of alcohol free. I haven't drank any alcohol in 9 months. So if you watched my previous video, I was kind of talking about, the experience I went through with the motorcycle accident, getting my concussion, and that was really the reason or the thing that led me to give up alcohol for these past 9 months. But wanted to share my experience, kind of what I went through, some of the challenges I had doing that, and where I am today. So again, I'm not going to recap the whole previous video, but I did, suffer that concussion back in November of last year. And if you watch the previous video, I kind of go through what all that meant for me. But through that process, I wasn't really drinking alcohol a lot immediately after that concussion. But I would, get bored, and because I was at home and just resting and not feeling good from the concussion, I'd get bored and I'd go out and I'd drink, and that would set me back quite a bit as far as my recovery from the concussive symptoms. And I would do that. I did that 3 or 4 times, where I just kept getting reset back to a place that wasn't very good for a lot of reasons. So made the decision to give up alcohol. Actually, the last time I drank, drank quite a bit, and made the decision to give up. I think it was March 26th of 2023. And that day I had gone to a basketball game with my friend, and we were drinking a little bit. We were out in LA. We were watching a Clippers game. I'm a Laker fan, but we just happened to be going to a Clipper game. He was in town, and there was something to do, so we went to a Clipper game and watched that. And we're having a good time. I'm still having a lot of the concussive symptoms, but I'm still good enough. I'm good enough to go out and kind of be social a little bit. And the drinks start flowing. We're at the game, watching it, and a couple more drinks. I'm probably 5-6 beers in. As the game's kind of going on. And then I have another friend that lives out in LA, so I text him. I'm like, hey, let's go out tonight after the game and get together. And I end up closing the bar down, staying out till 2 basically 2 a.m. when the bar's closed, going back to his house, drinking more, and just ended up staying up till like 4 a.m. that night, waking up at like 7 a.m. 3 hours later, basically terrible sleep, and feeling like absolute shit. Obviously a little hangover was involved in that, but I think just the concussive symptoms that I had, multiplied by the effects of the hangover, it would just put me in such a bad place that took a very long time to come back from. And I remember that was the day I'm like, all right, I really have to get serious about giving up alcohol if I'm going to allow my brain to heal, and if I'm going to allow myself to get where I need to be. Alcohol basically is one of those things that's stopping me from getting better. So that was basically the day that I decided to stop. I'll kind of go into a little bit of what I experienced with that, but before I get into that, just a little history of my alcohol use, I guess, over time. I started drinking when I was 14, 15 years old, freshman, sophomore in high school, regular high school parties. I mean, I used to, go pretty hard, and, everybody that I knew and a lot of my friends, we were all drinking at the time. So just kind of normal alcohol use throughout that. Ended up going to college at Arizona State, and there, I really ramped it up there. I mean, we were partying, 3-4 times a week. I was in a fraternity, did that whole scene, fraternity parties, everything like that. And, basically partied all throughout high school and college. Came back home from college in like 2015 and kind of continued drinking, but not as much as I did in college, but on weekends, Friday, Saturday, go pretty hard, have probably a little bit more than I should. Always feeling like shit, taking a day or two to recover. As you're getting older, the hangovers are getting a little worse, and it's really not serving you that well. And even before me giving up the first time, I've always thought, man, maybe I should stop, or am I drinking too much, or is this becoming a problem? I would lose a whole day of my life, hungover, a lot of the times, sometimes even 2 days, to be honest. I mean, I could drink on Saturday, and that whole Sunday, it's just recovery day, in bed, feeling like shit, not doing anything. Even that following Monday, still kind of shaking the cobwebs off from the weekend. And I remember a lot of time just going into work and not feeling good, and it was basically, hey, let's just get through this day. I feel like shit. We'll just get through, and maybe tomorrow will be better. And kind of always battling that kind of routine of drinking on the weekend, feeling like shit Sunday, feeling like shit Monday, starting to come back alive Tuesday. Wednesday was finally a normal day. Thursday was a semi-normal day. And then Friday would roll back around, and you drink Friday, Saturday. Those days were fun party days. And then Sunday feel like shit, Monday feel like shit, Wednesday coming back around, Tuesday coming back, or Thursday coming back around, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday feel like shit again. So just kind of that vicious circle. And it just, even if you're only drinking Friday, Saturday, for me, it was fucking up my whole week, to be honest. So even before my injury, I had those thoughts of stopping and kind of giving up drinking alcohol, but never really knew how I was going to do it. Kind of felt self-conscious about it. What are my friends going to think? Am I going to be fun? Am I going to kind of lose who I am as far as like having a good time? Any thought that I think most people go through when they're thinking about giving up alcohol, I was going through that. And you would try for a weekend and you would do it, and there's always something that brought you back into drinking, whether it's a social event or just kind of feeling like you needed to have a drink. So I was kind of battling those thoughts for a while, even before the injury, and the injury is really what forced me to stop. And I was going through a lot at that time, while I was recovering and giving up alcohol at the same time. So it was like, hey, I'm battling, stopping drinking, but I'm also battling all these, shitty, feelings I've had from basically the injury that I suffered. So, but yeah, it was a battle. Still is a battle, but the first, couple months, just feeling really uncomfortable, really awkward. You go out socially, hang out with friends, and just, you're the only one not drinking, they're gonna be judging me, or, am I gonna be fun? Am I gonna be loose? And I probably feel a little bit of that awkwardness, kind of coming from you. But over time, you get more comfortable with it. You learn how to have fun, without drinking. At least I've been learning how to do it. Don't get me wrong, there's still times, a lot of the times, where I'm out, I'm like, man, fuck, I really want a beer right now. It would be so nice just to have a beer with my friends and, kind of be in that shared experience with them, and, kind of have that bond of drinking with one of your friends. And I've been able to not go that route. But I still think about doing it quite a bit. And, but I just know that it's, for me right now, it's not where I need to be, not where I need to be, just to allow myself to heal. And I've actually noticed so many good things starting to happen for me from stopping. I'm getting in really, really good shape, which obviously is a huge plus, but, just my mentality is starting to shift a little bit with not drinking. I'm just experiencing a little more clarity, a little more, mindfulness, a little more calm, just in my personality and the way that I think. I still probably, I still battle with, some anxiousness and anxiety, but just kind of noticing just an overall just calming of myself, and just a little more clarity in my thoughts. So, been noticing that, which is nice. A lot more productivity. Obviously, if you're not, hungover, you could get so much more done, but not losing those days where you're waking up on a Saturday, you have your whole Saturday, you could go to the gym, you could get some work done, you could hang out, you could, go golfing, you could go on a hike, you could do all these different things. A lot of different things have been honestly opened up to me, just having more time, and more time feeling good. And that's really the main thing. Once I got past like 2-3 months of that initial anxiety and kind of adjusting to not having alcohol, then it became kind of fun. It became kind of addicting in its own way, where it's like, fuck, I feel really good. I want to keep this these good feelings going, and I'm getting a lot done, and it feels good to get these things accomplished, and I want to continue to chase those things. So a lot of good has come from it, and a lot of people ask me like, hey, when are you going to start drinking again? Actually, it's one of like the most number one questions I get asked is, how long are you going to go, or when are you going to start drinking with us again? And I keep telling everyone I don't really have a set timeline, but I'm shooting this video, it's December 20th, and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to get to the end of the year, which will be about 9 months and what is that, whatever, 9 months and 2 weeks or something like that. I'm like, hey, if I could let me just get to the new year of no drinking, that'll be 9 months and 2 weeks or whatever it is of no drinking. But then I think, man, if I get to 9.5 months, I might as well just go a full year, which would be March. And then I'm like, fuck, if I get to a whole year, like, why would I want to, give that up and just start drinking again after that year? So really my plan right now is to get to the end of the year. Once I get to the end of the year, I'm already kind of shooting for that full year of not drinking. And then we'll see what happens after that. And I really don't feel like going back to that lifestyle, because I've seen how beneficial it's been to me in so many different ways. So just kind of taking it that route. But for me, it's been a huge positive. I kind of look at the concussion that I suffered in a way as a good thing now. I mean, for a very long time, for 6 to 7 months, I was in pretty bad pain, pretty bad misery, and not seeing really the positive in anything. And now that I'm 13 months, 13 months post concussion and starting to heal and not having alcohol and taking care of my body more, it's, that concussion really allowed me to do that. It gave me the opportunity to kind of reset myself and go through this experience. And, I look back at it as a good thing. So, I don't know, kind of just shared my thoughts. I know a lot of people out there, want to stop drinking or want to stop, doing a period of sobriety. I get asked a lot when I'm going to start again, but I also get asked a lot, or people are super interested in, how I'm doing it or why I'm doing it. A lot of my friends that, drink and, don't have problems really, but just drink socially. They're like, oh man, it's so awesome that you're not drinking, and I wish I could do that, or, they're just interested in what I've, been doing with it. So, I don't know, man, I'm just feeling good. Honestly, starting to do these videos, I don't think I ever would have done if I was drinking. I'm just having the confidence in myself to be on camera and shoot these videos. I don't think I could have done when I was drinking, or some of the things I've been accomplishing at work. I don't think I would have been able to accomplish while I was drinking. People that can do that could drink and have a party lifestyle and get a bunch of shit done and have fun and, run a business and be there mentally and be there physically and still be in good shape. That was difficult for me to do. I was trying to do that and trying to have balance, and I really found I wasn't doing that well with it. So again, it's just exciting to see the progress I've made and start new things that I'm interested in. Again, doing these videos, something I've thought about for a long time, but now I'm actually starting them. And, again, I wouldn't have been able to do these while I was drinking. I'd make any excuse. I'd be too hungover. I couldn't do them, or I don't feel good enough to do a video, or let me just get through the day, or, I'd just be anxious about it. And, my anxiousness levels are way down, not having that alcohol in my system. So I probably kind of repeated myself a little bit, but if anyone is out there that wants to stop or wants to talk about stopping, I'm no sobriety expert or anything like that, but I know it's worked for me. So yeah, reach out to me. It can be done. It's difficult, it's something you got to work on. Sometimes it sucks. I said all these great things about it. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes, you feel a little left out when all your friends are out drinking and, you're not, or maybe you're with them and you're the sober one there. And yeah, it's fun. But then once they get to a certain level, you kind of feel like you're not with them, and, they're on a totally different mental level than you are at that point. And, honestly, I miss that. I mean, I do miss getting drunk. I do miss, kind of letting loose, kind of not worrying about what's going on in the moment. But I know that for me, that's just temporary. Those are temporary feelings. You could drink and kind of be loose and forgetful for that hour or multiple hours of time. But for me, that next morning and the following days would be 100 times worse than whatever temporary happiness that I got. And that's honestly what I tell myself a lot of the times to help me kind of get through is, hey, let's not just have that temporary couple hours of release when it's going to be so much worse on the other side. And I'm starting to have, and it sounds crazy, a lot of people would say, oh, you're full of shit. But there is a level of having a little bit different type of fun, not drinking. Being able to socialize, remember your interactions, being a little bit sharper than you would if you were just kind of, out of it drinking. So it's just a different level of fun. It's hard to explain. I'll try to do a better job in maybe future videos of putting some of my feelings into words about it. But it's a different level of fun that I've been enjoying. And it's just different. But anyway, 9 months in, we'll keep going. I don't know if I probably won't do like an every month update, but I'll probably go into more detail about some of the things I've experienced going through this process and how it's helped me. But again, it's been good. It's been an overall good thing. So I'll sign off on this topic for now. Probably more to follow in future videos. It is a topic that is interesting to me. I feel like I don't want this page to be about concussion recovery or sobriety, and those, I'm only 3 videos in. Those are, of course, there's only 2 things I've talked about so far. But I think it helps kind of let you guys know where I'm coming from. But it is a topic that interests me, though. So I'll probably do some more detailed videos about my experience with it and what I've seen and kind of how I've gone through this process. But anyway, more to follow. So